Next one along, let's have a look. Lyciane Rondeau. They want to start a business as a consultant teacher blogger. I empathize so much with this. But currently a freelance translator. There's a challenging profession. AI is slowly decreasing the amount of contracts I get, and my clients have reduced my rates. So at the end of the day, my arms can't do any more computer work. My brain is done for. Um, should I get a job where I don't use my brain and don't work at a computer for long stretches, and then have the brain power and arm power to work on a new business, or should they do something else entirely? Um, it seems like doing more work or more work in less time for the translation has given them some physical symptoms that are like, unhelpful for doing anything else. They need the money from the translation contracts. Um, and they've been feeling stuck for years with the same problem. They give an example of where to go for their work. But yeah, hopefully you get the idea, right? They're working in one particular job. They can't afford to stop doing the amount of work they're doing there. And they really want to stop doing that job because it's not rewarding or enjoyable anymore for them as much.
That's rough. I mean, first of all, just heaps of commiseration. It's a very hard thing where it's you need the bandwidth, enough money, give a shit energy to be able to jump to the new thing. And you don't just how to make the transition. How do you cross the chasm when it seems so wide? And when it seems to be getting wider all the time because they're paying you less. There's less gigs. There's more competition now, and yeah, they're comparing you to a machine. That's that's hellish to be in. Um, but good to see the writing on the wall. I'd say that's if there's a silver lining here, just being cognizant of the dynamic. Okay, this is the trend in the industry. This is where it's going. That's an empowering thing because it's easy to if you just aren't tracking it, like, oh, I'm getting less gigs. I don't know why, or well, it'll probably pick up, and that's probably just a temporary slump. It's good to be clear what's happening. That's number one. So I mean, so it's good. You know that. Number two, I'd probably start talking with maybe some of the other people, your translators, and just hey, compare notes. What else do we see? What's coming? And I think the clearer sense you can get of where the industry's at, the better. Also, just in terms of time, like, do we know of anything else coming down the pike, and what's happening? How soon do we think it'll be, um, twice as bad as it is now, and how urgent is this? But okay, I don't have any real answers on this, other than if you're going to start your own business, you're going to have limited time and money. And so you want to make every hour count, every dollar count. In order to do that, you really have to focus. You really got to hone in. And if it's a desperate situation, one, this is time to call on your friends, your community, your colleagues in spreading the word for you early on, call in all the chips. But if you're going to call in all the chips, you want all that energy to go to something that could actually generate income for you. So the broad advice here for anyone in a really tight situation or trying to, motorcycle jump from one end to the other is you've got to really hone the niche and specifically pick a problem that people want solved, a symptom that is really getting to people, something that people want to do, but they don't know how to get it done. You pick a very specific situation, and that's all you focus on. Because the danger is, well, I'm starting this new thing and it can help anybody, so I'm just experimenting. But if it's desperate, just you pick something and focus on that for a year. Just take a year and only focus on that issue. Now, if that issue can also be something you've gone through yourself, you have direct experience in it, that is much, much better. If something you're really competent in, of course, this is wonderful. But you pick one, and then you pick Gemma Gilbert. I got this from her, and I think she got it from Taki Moore. But this idea of picking your ones. So first of all, pick one problem. Number two, pick one way that you're going to be reaching people, getting the attention of people. So this could be touring live workshops. It could be touring a signature workshop online, getting it hosted. It could be getting interviewed on podcasts. It could be um, Facebook ads, posters around town. There's a lot of ways to do it, but pick one that you're pretty sure is going to be the best. Number two, you pick one way of nurturing your relationship. Once you've gotten their attention, once they've gotten a starter kit or something, how are you going to stay in touch? So email to me is the best, but some people do it with Facebook groups. Some people do it with live meetup groups. Some people maybe have a WhatsApp thread or a Telegram thread. I don't, whatever it is, that's what you do. Number three. So so first you get a problem. Second, you get a way of getting their attention. Third, you get a way of nurturing. Fourth, come up with one offer. One very simple offer, and that's all you focus on promoting. I've got so many things I offer, and if I was just in a crunch, I say, okay, what's the one thing? And I'm just going to focus on that. And for somebody starting off, we want to make it easy and simple and clear and direct. And then we think for number five, what's the one way we would talk to people about this offer? I mean, how do you make the transition from somebody being on your email list to having bought it? Is this a discovery call? Is this a web intro webinar that you do? Is this direct messaging people? I don't know. There's lots of ways to do it, but pick one for each. Ooh, who's calling who? 1 second. Is that you? Is that me? Is it?
I haven't.
I have no idea what's going on here. Oh, right, it was Facebook. Okay, let us continue. So that's what I would have to say about that. Interrupted by the bell. But I don't know, maybe that bell was well timed in that it's easy to want to keep going, and say, okay, I've got those 5 things, but what else? What else? What else? Stop. The bell has rung, stop. Just focus on those 5 things. And if you can't get them, I would say, if you cannot get those 5 things together, and you don't have something, then it may be, okay, I just need a job. There's no failure in that, by the way. Sometimes, like, man, the muse is just not hitting. You don't have anything. And like, I just need a gig. I just need a job that I can do that doesn't actually require a lot of my brains or my arms if they're burned out, that I can do, and then start to build those 5 ones on the side. You start to work on your fundamentals on the side until you feel like you have something that you're ready to take a step on. And again, it's not a binary. It doesn't have to be a huge leap. But if you don't have it, you just don't have it. If you don't have your niche, you just don't have it. I remember talking with a client of mine on a puttering session, and we've been talking about niche for a while. And halfway through the call, I said, I think I know what's happening. Is we've really done the niching work, and we've tapped out all your life experience. I mean, we've plumbed the well dry. It's just there's nothing left. And what actually I think you need to do now is go try a bunch of stuff, get more experience, and then come back with that. But I don't think any niching coach is going to be able to help you, because we've already explored everything that we can find to explore. And I think you just need to go out and come back with more information. We've taken all the data you have, we've crunched the numbers, and we had something, but it's like, this is the best that we can come up with now. So, in other words, you just start with what's clear. You go with what you have, and it might just be, it's not here right now. That's okay. It's okay. You can get a job, maybe doing something else. Let it gestate. Keep thinking about it though. Keep working on it on the side, discreetly when you can. It's amazing, if you think about, I could only spend an hour a day on my business. Well, that could be 365 hours at the end of the year. And 365 hours focused on anything that's a lot. that's not insignificant. And that kind of diligence, just every day you take an hour, work on the business in a very focused way, um, that can produce enormous results. You can have a lot of clarity at the end of the year. So those are my thoughts.
I find it so interesting hearing you describe this, that like tacit within this framework is the desperation of starting up a new business to get away from the old shitty one, but you're not getting, you need to make sure that it works the first time around. So there's a temptation to take, to aim for all clients without excluding any, because you can't afford to turn people away, you think. And yet this is absolutely not the time to um, skimp on
Yeah,
quality.
it's and who am I to say? If you have a bunch of people who just want to work with you and want to pay you, and it's really all across the board, and there's no particular niche, but it's money, okay. I would just say that that's got a limited shelf life on it, both in terms of your fulfillment and in terms of your finances.